Discovery's 4 computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
Oh. You're all doing well. And if not, I at least hope that your night improves. So hello, Beasto. I hope things have been going well. So, tonight we're going to be using the Empyrean again. Because I feel like I could have some powerful messages here to go along with the moon eclipse that is going to take place tomorrow. It won't be visible here, but that is okay. We'll be doing those readings for the new moon eclipse later tonight. That'll be what we do with cued readings tonight. But I'm going to open up with some collectives. So let's see what messages we get for collectives today. Message do we need to hear tonight? We have here the Wheel of Fortune reversed, Death, the Eight of Coins reversed, and the Three of Wands reversed. Which, what I'm getting out of this essentially is, with the Wheel of Fortune being reversed here, I feel like that's signifying breaking the cycles of the past. Along with that Death card here, is what that is signifying to me here. We will begin breaking the cycles of our past, letting go of those old patterns that don't serve us anymore, and changing things for ourselves going forward. The Eight of Coins reversed is a reminder not to rush things. The Three of Wands reversed is a reminder of why we don't want to rush things. Because that's probably just going to delay this change and cause a lot of frustration, and that's not what we want here. So just do your best not to rush things. Just take things slow. Especially with the energy of the fucking Eclipse here. That's going to be lasting for a while here. Don't rush things. Things are already gonna be crazy enough. No, it's fine. I still need to alter that a little bit. Nightbot's just being a butt. So okay. And also alongside the Empyrean too, because I feel like this would be a good deck to use tonight as well. We're also going to be using the Moonology deck here. So let's see what the Oracle cards have to say about this. My goodness, we got like 4 cards here. We got Full Moon in Cancer. A personal issue reaches resolution. These came out together, I'm not even joking. New Moon in Cancer. You and your loved ones are safe. New Moon in Leo. Confidence is your key to success. And Mutable Moon. Nothing is yet set in stone. But yeah, these two fell out together. Oh boy. Okay. Yep. So we'll go with these first, and then I'll pull the Empyrean card for this, because I am still going to use that with this too. So, let's see what these have to say first. So, Full Moon in Cancer. Things are likely to get very heated as Full Moon in Cancer is a super emotional sign. So there could be something of an explosion of feelings around now, or surrounding your question. It's important to be sensitive to other people when you pull this card. There are some very fine sensibilities around, so tread carefully as you move towards your goals or dreams. This card indicates an especially feminine time. It also heralds the time to deal with any family issues coming up. Nothing to worry about, it signals a challenge is now coming to an end. This card also suggests that both a domestic matter or private issue will soon come to a head, and that it's a great time to move house. The answer to your question lies in being a kind leader. This is the time for you to step up and agree to overcome your insecurities. Okay. I feel like that also kind of lends itself to the whole, like, not rushing things. Because again, with the Three of Wands reversed, they're pointing towards a lot of frustration that may not just be with yourself. May also cause some issues with other people, so. I also feel like the last line of this is one of the more important parts of this card. This is the time for you to step up and agree to overcome your insecurities. New Moon in Cancer. There's a new start coming in your private life. Something is rising up in connection with the people and places you hold dearest. This can be to do with a member of your family, a flatmate, or moving house. If you're hoping to move forwards with something special in your private life, this card comes to you as a message that you can do it. If you've been neglecting your family, it's time to reconnect with them. If you've been neglecting yourself, you need to take better care of yourself and nurture yourself more. If your insecurity is holding you back, that's something for you to work on now. Doing so could bring you your heart's desire. So again, the whole insecurity thing is what sticks out to me, but what sticks out the most to me is also the need to take better care of yourself. We can often kind of forget to do that part. So you do need to take care of yourself first before you can try to extend that to other people. If you keep giving without making sure you're taken care of first, eventually you're going to run out and you're going to have nothing left to give. I just realized another part of this card that for some reason just immediately caught my eye, and I kind of feel like there's someone that needs to hear it. And it's this one right here. Let someone get a bit closer to you. The way that I would more so take that is that if you've kind of been guarding yourself a little bit too much, to open yourself up a little bit and let someone get close to you. Can't. Yeah, I'm not sure that one. I'm not sure that one's meant for you, but that one caught my eye for some reason. We can't really. We keep guarding ourselves and we don't really open up. We can't really ever hope to find what it is that we're looking for in terms of connection. So. Okay. New moon in Leo. This card heralds the start of a new cycle for you. When you're going to look and feel more gorgeous, more in the spotlight, more like you have something worth showing off. If you want someone's attention, this card says it's coming. However, this may not happen all by itself. You have to be willing to do your bit. That means being proud of who you are and what you have to offer. Think of yourself as the king or queen of the jungle and carry yourself accordingly. This card is also a great omen if you're asking about a creative project you're working on. Alternatively, it can herald good news or a new start for your children. Huh. I think I know why I picked up on that one now. That's what I thought. Hi. Okay. Well, that makes sense as to why it immediately caught my eye then. I looked at the page again and then suddenly that one like stood out to me. So, that makes sense. Also, hello. It's nice to see you again. And we have Mutable Moon. Well, I hope the nail polish didn't get on the pizza. I'm sorry you messed up your nail polish, though. Mutable Moon. Mutable is all about change, shape-shifting even. That something is still developing. This card indicates that something is indeed changing, and there's room for maneuver. So take it as a sign that the situation you're asking about is far from finalized. If you're not happy with the current state of play, that's marvelous. It means you can still change the course of the outcome. However, there is also a sense that the situation could perhaps be a little unstable. For some, this is great news, because you can still influence it. Others will struggle with the uncertainty, but should stay with it a little longer. Either way, nothing is set in stone yet. Yeah. That's kind of funny. I kind of felt that. I kind of felt like that too myself, Beasto. I, I filed my nails and made them all pretty. And I also put on red lipstick. So. Even though my face isn't on camera. Whatever. Okay. So that's that for those. And also, let me, before I move on here, let me go back and kind of give you a bit of a, rundown of what this was. Misery. So we have the Wheel of Fortune reversed, Death, the Eight of Coins reversed, and the Three of Wands reversed. Essentially what I got out of this was that we're working on breaking the cycles of our past with the Wheel of Fortune reversed here, and with the Death card right next to it, signifying that that's something that we're trying to change for ourselves. The Eight of Coins reversed is a reminder not to rush things, and the Three of Wands reversed is a reminder of why we don't want to rush things. And that's because that's going to end up causing... It could cause problems that end up creating delays because we're rushing too much. And could also cause a lot of frustration. This one here was pointing towards the need to let go of insecurity. This one also mentioned that, and then that was the one that also mentions the need to be open and let someone get close to you. This one was about confidence. And this one is just a reminder that nothing is set in stone and you can always change things. That's great. And also, sorry, Candy Yams, Q isn't open yet. It will be open shortly. I'm just working through collectives currently. But that's great, Misery. I'm glad you've been able to actually do more with music. Yeah. 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 I understand that feeling all too well, so I'm sorry. And also, yes, the whole thing about like not rushing things too is especially important with the new moon eclipse, because things are already gonna be crazy enough with that. So you definitely, for like probably the next week, you don't wanna rush things too much, because things are gonna be a little hectic already. So that, it's not even just the eclipse, but we're on the cusp of the fucking Mercury retrograde. It's just like, yeah, that's great. Gotta fucking deal with Eclipse energy and retrograde? I really hope that things go better for you than things probably will go for me over like the next fucking like few months. Cause not I think I understand why things have been a little hectic for me lately. And that's because not only, again, the eclipse, the new moon eclipse energy, and the Mercury retrograde energy. Did I mention I was in the middle of my fucking Saturn return? Yay! That started at the fucking beginning of March. Pretty much when I started streaming. That probably wasn't a good idea. Yes. Exactly. Also, thank you for the positivity there. Yeah, that's... Mine has been... Mine has been rough, but has also brought me a lot of good so far. As well. It hasn't been all bad. The energy leading up to that kind of pushed me into this. And it's shaken up a lot of other things and kind of left me with a lot of confusion in some regard because things have been happening that I don't quite understand yet. What the fuck it means. But anyway, let's see what the Empyrean has to say. Because we're using that tonight. I apologize if it's brutal today. I have a feeling it might be. So what do you have to add? I don't like that it kind of feels like it's thinking about it. Uh-oh. Okay. So we got two. Okay. We have endure. So I guess we just need to keep hanging on. And we have grip. So, yeah, the mirror thing with self-love affirmations is absolutely a great tip there. Look yourself in the eyes when you do that, too. It's okay if you need to work up to that, but at some point you do need to be working towards actually looking yourself in the eyes when you say it. So, endure is... let's see. Endure says, keep going. Like a desert road that stretches on for miles. It may not seem like there's an ending in sight, but trust that there is. To endure is to take the next breath, to willingly turn the other cheek, to resolutely accept. It's not about giving in. It's about getting back up each time, knowing it will happen again. We get stronger each time we stand. We are enduring this battle, knowing that we will win the next one. Like a warrior in training whose body is being put through brutal adversity so that they will be prepared. It's not glamorous, but there is magic in simply getting through. Of moving towards the sun, but not feeling its heat yet. Our ancestors all had to journey, to traverse the harsh landscapes that sprawled on endlessly, uncertain if their lifelines would be severed too soon, but they still endured. That same strength flows through your veins. Let it rise within you. And when you doubt it, think of them and keep going. So, if you get knocked down, get your ass back up and keep going. Yes, this deck is called the Empyrean from Threads of Fate. These are lenticular prints, which essentially means there are two images printed on top of each other, and plastic on the top that is textured. If I do this, you might be able to hear it. That texture separates the images in a way that when you shift the card, they shift the images. Okay, so the other one is grip. Uh-oh. Grip is the 911 call. It's immediate. It's urgent. Before we can work on trust, before we can truly shift our mindset, we must stop. Anyone who is familiar with addiction and sobriety will tell you that the first step is to stop using. It is only then that the thinking, that which keeps someone sober, can truly be addressed. But the first step is the stop. It is time to open the clenched fist, to no longer put reality into a box, and let it bloom on its own. When we are always working to be the composer of life around us, we may not be able to hear the music. We want to play along with it, to ebb and flow with it, to witness its unfolding without attempting to make it what we want. There will always be things we can control, and things we can't. We can control how much gas we put in our car, but we can't control the price. The medicine within this card is a deep breath. It is inviting you to clear your head. It's letting you know that you can stop whatever it is that's creating suffering for you right now, and just be present for a moment. Ouch. Yeah. This reading also unfortunately fucking included me, so ow. I'm working on meditation and mindfulness again, okay, guys? Fuck. I know I kind of fell off fucking practicing that there for like a few months, but things got really fucking crazy, okay? Eh. Yeah, it was kind of necessary because anxiety was like getting to be like too much again, and that has unfortunately, because they're connected for me, that has unfortunately invited depression back into my life, and that shit can fuck off. Like, it's... Depression has been, like, particularly fucking bad lately. Like... all I can do is keep going, so... I don't really have a choice in that matter. Yeah. Depression unfortunately won over the weekend, and it was just kind of a bit of a miserable, panicked mess. But feeling a bit better today. Took a shower and used my salt scrub to essentially get rid of the fucking negative energy, negativity that was just lingering, and also help soothe me some more. And then after that, I decided to essentially treat myself a little bit by, like I said earlier, filing my nails so they're all nice and pretty again. And putting on some red lipstick to kind of help with confidence. So, even if it's not visible on camera, because my face isn't on camera, I know it's there, and that's all that matters. That I also took time to sing, which is very helpful. So singing is how I get a lot of things out. Yeah, so I hope whoever needed to hear that message, I hope it helps you. Oh, I know something is going on. There's just not much I can really do about it right now, and that was what Grip was reminding me of, essentially. I can't do anything about it, so it's useless to continue fucking worrying about it, but it still doesn't make it hurt any less. And I don't want to push too hard. Again, like the fucking Three of Wands and fucking the Eight of Coins reversed, both of those were like a reminder that I don't want to push too hard. Because unfortunately this deals with a person. I don't want to push too hard and end up doing the complete opposite of what I want. I can't rush things for them, I just have to wait for them to realize it, so... Anyway, let's do one more collective here. And then we'll open up a queue. And like, it's also something else too that I keep doing, is I keep going back to my cards and back to my guides for answers, but that only leads to more questions. And overall, it's just been a fucking confusing situation, and I still don't know what to do about it. Nor really how to feel about it. Like, every time I ask a question and get an answer, I get an answer, but then it just unfolds further. And that just leads to more questions. See, I did let my boyfriend do a reading for me, but that just led to my guides essentially telling me, hey, come ask us yourself. Like, I got an answer, but they were just like, if you want more, just come ask us. Like, okay. Oh no, I get answers. It's not that I'm not getting answers. It just leads to more questions because it's hard to explain. Yeah, my guys are cheeky bastards. Sometimes annoyingly so, but most of the time it's in really fucking hilarious ways. So. Mine? I'm a Gemini sun. And a Leo rising. So. Interesting. Then my moon is Pisces. So. Okay. Anyway. Collectives. I keep getting distracted. What do those who might be watching need to hear? We have here the Devil, Temperance, Seven of Coins, and Three of Wands. So, we're being just really punchy tonight, man. Yeah, the Devil card is essentially telling you to get out of your own way. Devil card is here to remind you to not get in your own way. The Temperance card is here to remind you to be patient. Yeah, patience being necessary. Probably with yourself. You need to be patient with yourself. But also patient as you're waiting for these things to come with you. Or to come to you. With the Seven of Coins and the Three of Wands. Seven of Coins is telling you that the rewards for your work are coming. The Three of Wands is also signifying a bit of the same thing, and also a reminder that you do need to stay motivated and continue taking action. But you need to be patient with yourself as you're working towards these things and as you're waiting for them to come to you. And again, the Devil is telling you not to get in your own way here. Again, with the other reading, don't rush it. Don't rush yourself. Be patient. And let's see what the oracle cards have to add to this. Also, I'm sorry to hear that, Misery. This one again. New Moon on Leo. Confidence is your key to success. This card heralds the start of a new cycle for you, when you're going to look and feel more gorgeous, more in the spotlight, more like you have something worth showing off. If you want someone's attention, this card says it's coming. However, this may not happen all by itself. You have to be willing to do your bit. That means being proud of who you are and what you have to offer. Think of yourself as the king or queen of the jungle, and carry yourself accordingly. This card is also a great omen if you're asking about a creative project you're working on. Alternatively, it can herald good news or a new start for your children. So, yep, the exact same one. So essentially, just have confidence in yourself. Hello. Let's see what the Empyrean has to add to this. Oh. Not this one. Hey Lan, guess what card? Yup, it's abandoned. Oh no. That is upside down. Oopsie. There we go. Abandon. Also, I apologize in advance. I sincerely apologize. Abandon says, there is always a last time. Sometimes we think we have found it. The person, the place, the thing. Only for enough time to pass to realize it wasn't the world. It was a snow globe that we dared to be real. And like a houseplant that has outgrown its pot, we too must leave sometimes. And so we gather our grief and carry it in our shaking hands. Or we walk out with an emptiness that feels like permafrost. Or we steal away like a thief in the night. The shape in which we are leaving is not as important as honoring the knowing. We must bend to it, even when it's hard, even when it's so much easier to stay in our small pot. To abandon is to love the snow globe for what it was. A momentary home. A pocket we whispered our dreams into. And we can find a space for it on the altar of our hearts while we walk the open road. I actually don't know what my Lilith is. That's something I've never researched or looked into, so. But abandon is pointing towards the need to let go of something. It is a reminder that as we continue growing, there are certain things that we will eventually outgrow and need to leave behind. To continue to grow, we first must step out of, as this says, with the comparison to a houseplant that has outgrown its pot. To continue growing, we need to leave our small pot. Essentially, meaning step out of our comfort zone and continue moving on in search of something better. So, I hope whoever needed to hear that message, I hope it helps you. The Three of Wands was there, but it was reversed. Here it's upright, so. Also, if I'm remembering correctly too, Misery, I think this was the first card you got in the first stream that you came in on. Okay, and with that, it's time to open the queue. So, like I said, we're going to be doing special new moon eclipse readings today. The questions I'll be asking are, what do we need to let go of? And what is beginning? I'm sorry, Misery. Also, something I've been meaning to ask you. What is it that you would wish to be called? Because you did tell me your name, but I don't know if that's something you would want me to use. Okay. No, if that's what you'd prefer to be called, that's fine. So, I'll just call you Rocky. It's fine as long as you stick to Evie. Just don't call me my actual real name, please. Well, no, it's not something I try to hide. I just don't like using my real name. Like my actual real name. So. Be stoned. Be nice to yourself. We're not garbage. Hey. Not not to like reduce that or anything, but I'm just a giggly bitch. I giggle at like pretty much almost anything. So okay. Also, that makes you the second Bree in chat. There is another Bree who stops by occasionally and who usually lurks a lot. And she likes making those sorts of puns too, so. Yes. Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Are you ready, Bree? Okay. So, what does Bree need to let go of or release? We'll see if it does bestow. Even the tarot cards have been a little punchy today. It's just like, oh, okay, that's how we're gonna be. That's great, yeah. Okay. And what is beginning? You have throat tattoos? Okay. So, Bree, we have here, for the first question, the Nine of Swords. So, what you will be letting go of and releasing is this anxiety and these intense negative feelings here. I'll have to look for that here in a second. And then what is beginning for you? Here, you have two cards. We have the Ten of Cups, and we have the Lovers. So, emotional fulfillment and love. That may just be with yourself, but that also may extend to another person here. Yeah, I get the Lovers a lot too. This is another signifying card for me, particularly for my relationship. And it's fitting because the Lovers is connected to Gemini, which I am, so. Beasto. Okay. Like emotional fulfillment. Both of them together are signifying emotional fulfillment and love. And that might just be a deeper connection with yourself and learning to love yourself if that's something that you're struggling with. But that could apply to someone else as well. Yep. Okay, let's see what the Empyrean has to add on to this. Yep. Goodness. Yep. Okay. We have 3 Empyrean cards for you. So, yeah. Earth. Oh, yeah. We have Unfurl. And we have Cloak. I'm gonna say with this card, I have a feeling that this is signifying self-love, because I know what the message of Cloak is here. I'm actually going to go ahead and read that one first, so that you get what I mean. So, Cloak says, there are times for being transparent, forthcoming, and open. This is not one of them. Whatever you are working on, processing, or exploring, it is best to do it under wraps for now. This is not to encourage paranoia or fear, but simply to protect yourself. Some roads are best traveled at night. Some flames are best lit inside. Some ideas are best not shared. Some projects are best kept secret, at least for the time being. Respect this moment enough, whatever it is for you, to give it its best chance by keeping it within. Let it take root inside you. Protect your time and space from any external forces that attempt to interrupt, and let it grow. You will know when it's time to step outside and let it be seen. So, for me, that is, again, signifying the need for self-love here. And that's something that you're beginning to create for yourself. And if you are searching for love, this may be the first step towards actually getting that. And let's see what Earth has to say. Our spirits weren't made for this place. Like mismatched lovers, unable to fully meet each other's needs, we still try. We carry on making the most of our gravity-bound, blink of the eye time. Earth is a language we are still learning how to speak, clumsily trying to translate our spirit's fire into words that can be understood, a picture that can be felt through a screen. The cosmic joke is that the puzzle pieces will never quite fit together. We will still close our eyes at night, trying to quiet the questions that don't make sense here. The medicine at this place is rooting where you are, adapting to the density, chewing over the unknown, but not letting it annihilate you. The earth teaches us how to make do. Like being on a stranded island, and figuring out how to make a spearhead out of stone. A raft out of buoyant wood. It's imperfect, a sliver of the potential, but we learn. Some overshoot and destroy, extracting and building with no real purpose. Others become paralyzed, fading away. The lesson here is learning to walk into the storm and not look for an axe or a getaway car. It's knowing it will be millennia before we strike the right chord, but we get creative anyway. We clench our fists and fight anyway. Yep. 1 second. Someone's car alarm's going off outside. Thank you. Goodness. Okay. I'm gonna go back a couple sentences there. It's knowing it will be millennia before we strike the right chord, but we get creative anyway. We clench our fists and fight anyway. We soften our hearts and love anyway. We let our lives be a prayer for the future, for the you and me that will be here again soon. We seek to remember on our trips to this place, and we make friends with the idea that we can't, but we try anyway. The last line is the most important part here, it always is. Keep trying. Just keep going. And Unfurl says, like a seed sprouting, reaching out of the soil, uncertain of what will meet it above ground, you too must stretch out. Sometimes this happens slowly. Other times it feels like you are rolling down a hill and can't stop. Whether it's something you can't control, or something you must challenge yourself to do, you are being called to expand. There's an energy within you that is seeking to be embodied more fully, to see the light of day. Do not question it. Let it spring forth, in whatever form it takes. There is always time to bloom later. So, what I get out of that one is that, again, it's calling for growth here. And sometimes just taking that first step is the most important. It's not something that has to happen immediately. Just remember that taking small steps towards whatever goal it is, whatever growth you're looking for here. Small steps are okay. It doesn't have to be massive change right away. And in terms of self-love, yeah. Or in terms of finding love for yourself, Both of those things can take a while. It's not something that, in either regard, that you have to rush into. Just continue taking small steps. And let's see what the Moonology deck has to say here. We have to do the Empyrean first for these ones, because those are going to be the ones that have the most significant messages here. Not that the others don't, but those messages are pretty, messages from the Empyrean here can be pretty powerful, so. So, we have two. We have Hold Your Vision, or Fixed Moon, Hold Your Vision, and Disseminating Moon, Take Time to Breathe Out. Fixed Moon says, there are two main possibilities with this card. The first is that you need to stand firm in whatever situation you're in. The second, very different interpretation is that something is stuck. That could well be referring to the situation you're asking about. If that's the case, have a think about what you can do to grease the wheels so that events move forward. Are you being stubborn? If so, that's great. Because if you really want things to change, there's a solution. Stop digging your heels in. Be the one to break a deadlock. With two interpretations for this card, it's up to you to decide what's going on and which meaning applies to you. This offers up a chance for some self-reflection. I think the most important part of this card would actually be the text that is on the card, that just says, hold your vision. Just keep steady. And applying that to, the whole, thing of progress. Massive, changes are not... Massive changes, again, don't always have to be the focus. Steady progress is often what pays off, even if that's just with small steps. And then Disseminating Moon says, the intensity of the full moon has abated, and what are we left with? That's what this card is asking you. It suggests that the situation you're asking about has now peaked, and it's time for you to regroup and learn from your experiences, rather than blindly forging ahead. Have faith that what is happening is for the best. Try to accept the way that things are now, and give yourself and others time out to relax. Breathe. We can't be on all the time. If you feel you've hit an obstacle or even failed in some way, now is the time to reflect on how to do things differently next time. be honest with yourself if you feel bad about your current situation, and then remind yourself that life goes in cycles. Along with this deck, there is, in the guidebook, there's an entry that's called Attuned to the Moon that is either an affirmation that you could be telling yourself, or an action that you could be taking to embody the energy of this card. This one sticks out to me, so I'm going to share it with you. This one is an affirmation that you could be telling yourself. I am where I am, and it's okay. So, I hope that message helps you. Good. Thank you for stopping by the way. Of course. Again, thank you for stopping by. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and preemptively close queue because these are actually taking quite a long time. I figured they would. But I also just noticed the time, so. Okay. Beasto, you're up next. Also, sorry, before I forget, I almost just forgot. Sorry. I went to go, I went to go check that out, what you mentioned there, Rocky. Yeah, I see the tattoos and the throat tattoo, yeah. So I'll have to go check that out later. And actually probably listen to some of that. Okay, it's okay. I can wait a few minutes or seconds. Yeah. I'm sure there would be quite a journey with music there, yeah, I'm sure. Also, um, I, hmm. So I do want to say something, but um, I do apologize in advance if it's uh, a bit too forward or a bit too much. No, you would definitely be noticeable. So, keep trying. I don't mean the music. mean being noticeable by people. You're definitely someone I would notice. And I would definitely think you're cute. So, just keep trying with it. Also, Rocky, accept the compliment. Don't deflect it. Yeah, it's something I have trouble with too. It's okay. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, Beasto, are you ready? Hold on. Beasto, explain that one. Did you, did you just have random women come through your chat and just flirt with you? Oh boy. Oh no. Also, since I know that it's probably gonna get lost somewhere, Rocky, would you send me a message with that band name? The one that you mentioned earlier that you were in. You can send it to me wherever. You can send it to me here on Twitch or on Discord if you want to. I primarily use Spotify. Hey. Um, what, that's a bit concerning, Beasta. But yeah, you can send me a link here on Twitch, or on Discord if you want to. I should have DMs open on Discord, so you can send it there too if you want. It's where I'm most frequently active, so. Beasto. Okay, thank you. Okay. Okay. Are you ready, Beasto? Okay. Okay. What does Beasto need to let go of or release? It's interesting you say that. So yeah. You got 3 cards for the first question here, which are all pretty much signifying the same thing. You got the 3 of Swords, 5 of Swords, and the 9 of Cups reversed. So, what you'll be letting go of here is... what you need to be letting go of here is... this constant negativity and putting yourself down here with the 3 of Swords. And this feeling of grief and this defeatedness with the 5 of Swords here. And the 9 of Cups, signifying self-loathing, pessimism. So, just in other words, a lot of intense negative feelings. And what is beginning? Hey, excuse you, you're all chat cuties. Well, that one flew out. Fuck. Okay, the Knight of Coins here flew out. You got 2 coins cards here, actually. You got the 2 of Coins. Let's move these over a bit. You got the 2 of Coins and the Knight of Coins, which is essentially telling me that something that's beginning is, with the 2 of Coins here, is balance and prioritization. Primarily probably prioritization. And I feel like this might be signifying Prioritizing yourself. What I'm getting out of that is prioritizing yourself here. You need to be putting yourself first here and taking care of yourself. And the Knight of Coins is ambition and hard work. And the determination to essentially get whatever it is that you set your mind to. So those are the things that are beginning for you here. Let's see what the Empyrean has to say here. That was immediate. Oh no. That's what I'm thinking. You got chaos. Don't know if that's good or bad. I popped out immediately. So, Chaos says, we each have our own chaos. The goal is not to let it rule you. It's easy to put it in the junk drawer of our mind, to revisit it at another time. The problem is that we can't predict when that drawer opens. It can leak out of us, beckoning us to follow. For some of us, it's intoxicating. An old lover that gives us a high. For others, it looks like a snarling wolf, ready to rip us apart. But name the chaos. Acknowledge it for what it truly is, even if it scares you. Even if you're dancing with it in a way that you know you shouldn't, a little too close for comfort, let it know that you see it. Living in that shadow can be necessary. Sometimes the only way out of the pattern is through. But don't dress it up to make it more acceptable. Don't say you're in love when you know they're a drug. You may not be able to muster enough energy to change in this moment, but at the very least, call it what it is. Sometimes that is all that's needed to take the steam out of the engine, to put a little more weight on the brakes. Ow. Yep. That one was what I expected. Right? I think like this last part here is the most important part, as well as like the part about acknowledging it for what it actually is. Living in that shadow can be necessary. Sometimes the only way out of the pattern is through. But don't dress it up to make it more acceptable. Don't say you're in love when you know they're a drug. You may not be able to muster enough energy to change in this moment, but at the very least, call it what it is. That part, I feel, is like the most important part here. Brutal honesty here may be necessary. And that is often the sort of energy that a new moon eclipse will bring. So it's very fitting, unfortunately. Yes, what Breach has said. Yeah, that one can be a bit much to process. Yeah. That one's just, oof. Fucking ouch, man. Yeah. I'm sorry. Something that just popped into my head that I'm going to say because I feel like it might be relevant here, and there's probably a reason that that popped up. Sometimes we look for things in others because we're not getting them. Or we're not giving that to ourselves. And sometimes it can be easy to get swept up in that, yes. Because we so desperately crave it that we're willing to do anything for it, even if we know that it's not good for us. Because we crave that positive attention. We crave those things that they're giving us. But you need to give that to yourself first. If there's something you're not receiving, or something that you crave so desperately that you'll cling to it once you actually find it in someone, give it to yourself first. Of course. I do still have a Moonology card for you. If you want it. After this one, it's okay. If you don't want it. Okay. do you have to add? I'd forgotten what that card meant, but I had a feeling it wasn't good. I think this is the first one I got in a reading for myself, and I'm pretty certain this was the first card that popped up when I started streaming. So that's fitting. Oh. Well, I apologize in advance. I'm sorry. It's really gonna feed into that energy there. That's, ow. Void of course moon. Nothing will come of this situation. Ouch. In a form of astrology known as horary? Not sure how to pronounce that. Where an astrological chart is cast according to when the question is asked and decoded. Void of course moon means nothing will come of this matter, or this situation will bear no fruit. This may or may not be good news depending on what you are asking. For example, if you were worried about something, whatever it was, this card can be taken as a sign that there is nothing to worry about. However, if you're asking about a new project of any kind, including a new relationship, it's a sign to adjust your expectations or change things so you get a different outcome. Remember, the cards can only predict what you are currently creating, and you can change that with both behavior and beliefs. Those last few sentences there. That last sentence there. Remember, the cards can only predict what you are currently creating, and you can change that with both your behavior and beliefs. Exactly. I was just about to say that too. This goes really hand in hand with the immutable moon, I think it was, that says nothing is set in stone. Like, that is pretty much like something that I always keep in the back of my head, is to remember that if there's something that ever pops up in a reading that I don't like, or anything really, it's important to remember that nothing is set in stone. Things can always change. If we don't like the current course, we can change it. These cards are not set in stone. This isn't the only future. It is a possibility. One of many. Nothing is set in stone. We can always change things if we don't like where we're currently going. Always. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Water is the element of emotions. People of any water sign with anywhere in like their big 3 placements, um, they can tend to be very, very emotional. And sometimes it can be a detriment. Actually, that reminds me. That's something I kind of forgot to use. I'm going to ask you about something else here. What do you have to add to this message? The past version of you is so proud of how far you've come. You like some extra guidance here, Beasto. I can send you this if you want. Oh yeah, I forgot. The Discord, by the way. I forgot. The Discord is available. I forgot to mention that last time you were here. I'll post this there later. Page 205. I'll try to remember that. But yes. Just remember that you can always change things. How do I shuffle the deck? Here, I'll show you in a second here. But yeah, just remember that you can always change things. That is always a possibility. And yes, sometimes that starts with changing our perspectives and the way that we think about things. So, there are two ways I shuffle the cards. I do these both together. I do a what's known as a riffle shuffle, which is this. That is a riffle shuffle. And then I take the cards and I overhand shuffle. Like this. Oh. This card wanted to make itself known again, Beasto. Don't let this sense of defeatedness get you down here. You have the power to do this. You have the power to change this. And yeah, exactly like that just happened. I keep overhand shuffling until cards pop out. It's just hard to do on camera, because they might go flying off camera behind there or there. Anywhere. Yeah. This is the corner of my bed. I shuffle. I don't shuffle on camera because when I do that, they just fly off. I do the same thing. I do the same thing with Oracle decks. These are, because there are fewer cards, these are usually easier to shuffle. In both ways. They're easier to shuffle. Oh, okay. And easier to hold on to. But like regular tarot cards are kind of difficult sometimes, yes. Particularly if you have smaller hands, which I kind of do, like, smallish hands anyway. So I guess here, it would probably help. It would help if, I actually show you how I hold them. So, when I... Also, thank you for stopping by, Beasto. Good luck with your stream. I hope things go well. So, this is the way that I hold the cards when I rift shuffle. This card up here just kind of helps stabilize them. And then you press down here in the center. This is how I hold them. And when I do the overhand shuffle, it's essentially like a similar thing. As you can see, it is a bit of a struggle to hold it, but it is possible. As you can see with these, it's much easier to hold. Okay, anyway. Okay. It's your turn now, Rocky. Because they've been so punchy tonight, I apologize in advance. They're probably they're not holding back tonight. So I apologize in advance. It's probably gonna be really punchy. I would make a comment, but I'll behave. Okay. Anyway. What does Rocky need to let go of? Or release? Oh, fucking course I knew it. Okay, it felt like I wanted to share another and like pop it out because one started kind of like trying to pop out. But I guess it only wants to show one. So... you want to take a guess what the card is? You know the thing I mentioned earlier? When you first came in, and it was the first thing you heard. About needing to open up yourself a little bit. And let someone get close to you. Yeah, it wants to say hi again. You need to let go of this need to close yourself off. Well, I know a person. And what is it that is beginning here? Huh. Yeah. My goodness. Could we not? I don't think they liked my sass. I'm sorry. uh, uh, it's okay, I deserve that. So, speaking of, what is beginning here? The Fool. You're beginning a new journey. That journey? Learning to accept help. This is the card they smacked me in the face with, by the way. Okay. Let's see what the Empyrean has to say. No. Mm-mm. There's far too many cards. I don't think so. Of course it would. Popping out too many cards? Yeah. So we got two here. We got Attract. And we have Earth again. Two lions. Interesting. Okay, so of course it is. They had to have known what they were doing with that one. Guess what fucking page number Attract is on? They knew what they would do. Cheeky fuckers. Attract is apparently on page 69. They definitely knew what they were doing with that one. To attract is to enter the spiral dance. Contrary to what many viral online creators will tell you, to attract, to be aligned, is to decide to live in a construction site. It is not nearly as one-dimensional as it seems, and extends far beyond the vision board. When we begin to focus on what we want, we are often first met with what we don't. We open the door only to find an old pattern staring us in the face. It is our first temptation. We may want to feed it because it feels comfortable and familiar, but the magic is in letting it starve. It is closing the door in its face and saying, "I don't know what will happen next, but I know I want something different. We may then move a bit closer to what we want, but not quite. We may toy with it, letting it play out until we cut it loose and move on again. Each step is moving us closer to our true desire, the experience we really want to have. It is not a straight line, so do not get discouraged when you engage in energies that feel lower than what you want to have. Trust yourself enough to know when to stop. We must let ourselves get reborn again and again in this process, so do not expect to arrive. You will fall and skin your knees, but get up and keep smiling. The key to attracting is play. Let yourself enjoy the game. Come alive in the dance, while still stretching toward the stars. So, you may not get what you want right away, but that's okay. Just keep trying for it anyway. Which is fitting because that's the message of Earth. Huh. Earth says, our spirits weren't made for this place. Like mismatched lovers, unable to fully meet each other's needs. We still try. We carry on making the most of our gravity-bound blink of the eye time. Earth is a language we are still learning how to speak, clumsily trying to translate our spirit's fire into words that can be understood. A picture that can be felt through a screen. The cosmic joke is that the puzzle pieces will never quite fit together. We will still close our eyes at night, trying to quiet the questions that don't make sense here. The medicine of this place is rooting where you are, adapting to the density, chewing over the unknown, but not letting it annihilate you. The Earth teaches us how to make do, like being on a stranded island and figuring out how to make a spearhead out of stone, a raft out of buoyant wood. It's imperfect, a sliver of the potential, but we learn. Some overshoot and destroy, extracting and building with no real purpose. Others become paralyzed, fading away. The lesson here is learning to walk into the storm and not look for an axe or a getaway car. It's knowing it will be millennia before we strike the right chord, but we get creative anyway. We clench our fists and fight anyway. We soften our hearts and love anyway. We let our lives be a prayer for the future, for the you and me that will be here again soon. We seek to remember on our trips to this place, and make friends with the idea that we can't. But we try anyway. Also, of course, Bree. Thank you for stopping by. And also, same to you. I hope you have a good night, too. But yeah, so the message of that one, like the end of this one here, keep trying. You may not get what you want right away, but just keep trying. Okay. And let's see what the Oracle deck has to say. Oh, Oh, not that card. Guides, don't you fucking be cheeky with me. There's a, there's a card on the bottom of the deck that I flip, like, I just flipped the deck over to go to shuffle. The card that was on the bottom when I split the deck is a card that has a very cheeky meaning. I'll explain that one in a bit, but first I gotta shuffle. And hope it doesn't pop that one out. Thank fuck! You got 4 cards. I thought you got 3. You have Mutable Moon. Nothing is set in stone. South Node. Don't let your past hold you back. Full Moon in Libra. A win-win outcome is forecast. And Waxing Crescent Moon. Have faith in your dreams. Before I get on to that, this is the card on the bottom of the deck. Take this one at face value and you'll understand. This is the cards. This is the card that my guides like to pop out to be very fucking cheeky. Yeah, like that one's supposed to be taken at face value, and again, very cheeky. Very tongue-in-cheek, message there, yeah. Ugh. And cheese farts. Yeah. So, with mutable moon, mutable moon says mutable is all about change, shape-shifting even, something that is still developing. This card indicates that something is indeed changing, and there's room for maneuver. So take it as a sign that the situation you're asking about is far from finalized. If you're not happy with the current state of play, that's marvelous. It means you can still change the course of the outcome. However, there is also a sense that the situation could perhaps be a little unstable. For some, this is great news because you can still influence it. Others will struggle with the uncertainty, but should stay with it a little longer. Either way, nothing is set in stone yet. Oh. I'm sorry. I definitely know what that sort of feeling is like. It took me like two absolutely horrible relationships, one that fucked me up quite a lot, to essentially get to where I am now. And the person before I did think was my soulmate, but I eventually came to realize that I was incorrect about that. And it ended up being that the first person that I actually fell for ended up actually being that person for me. I just didn't know how to tell that person, so I tried my best to hide those feelings and tried to pretend they didn't exist, and tried to find relationships elsewhere because I didn't know what to do. Eventually things worked out in such a way that I ended up reconnecting with the person that I first fell for, and quickly realized that there was something more at play there. They were actually my soulmate. That's who I'm currently with. And turns out it goes much deeper than that, because out of curiosity, I got a past life reading from someone a few months ago. And it turns out it's much deeper than that. We apparently seek each other out every lifetime. We continually choose each other. Throughout every lifetime. The Lovers is pretty much our defining card as a couple. Um, yeah. I'm sorry to hear that. So, there's something I can show you later if you want me to. Because I was curious. Hmm. I'm sorry. Yeah. South Node says, the South Node, like the North Node, is a karmic point. but it's opposite to the North Node and relates to the past. Perhaps even to past lives. Whatever you are going through, and whatever you're asking about, there's a chance that age-old programming and conditioning is stopping you from achieving all that you might. Do you feel stuck in something? This card will often come as a sign that the situation or relationship you're asking about has somehow become suffocating, even toxic. It suggests that someone, you even, needs to be released, that there's some kind of addiction going on, or an unhealthy attachment that needs to be sorted out. One thing is for sure, when you get this card, you are being challenged to make some changes, even if staying where you are feels safer and easier. But, yeah, I'll message you about it later. There was something I was curious about, and it was one of the questions I asked a few days ago. And it's something that I'd like to share with you. We have full moon in Libra. The full moon in Libra, the sign of partnership, of falling in love, and of closely relating to someone else. Since full moons are about climaxes and conclusions, this card suggests you're either about to start a new relationship, or that an important existing relationship is changing somehow, perhaps coming to an end, or moving to a new level of commitment. It's important to remember that people come to us for a reason, and sometimes just for a season. If a relationship is ending now, it's doing so at the right time, so try not to fight it. This card can also refer to a professional relationship. There is a sense that you need to balance your ego with someone else's needs. A win-win outcome is possible with give and take. Doing so might be the answer to your question. And waxing crescent moon. Don't give up. The situation you're asking about is still taking shape. You're nowhere near the end of the story. Whatever is happening now is just a step along the way. As they say in the self-help classics, everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. No, you're fine. You don't have to apologize. I understand all too well what it can be like when you don't really have anyone to talk to. It's actually interesting, that you say that. You're who I was curious about. I did a reading a few days ago. I wanted to see why I actually picked up on your energy. And what the hell that meant. And I got an answer, but it led to a lot more questions. Pretty much. I actually did a reading on that. Not quite. That's actually what I wanted to explain. I don't remember where I was, so I'm just going to start over with this. Don't give up. The situation you're asking about is still taking shape. You're nowhere near the end of the story. Whatever is happening now is just a step along the way. As they say in the self-help classics, everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. However, the waxing crescent moon card is a reminder that you must still keep working towards whatever it is that you want. If you can't take practical steps, spend time meditating on the question you're asking about, and allow your higher self to download information to you about your next best step. Best next step. Why do I always fuck that up? Overall, this card suggests there is every reason to be hopeful for a very positive outcome to the situation you're asking about, so keep the faith. But I hope that message helps you. I know a lot of these things have been things that have been coming up for you a lot lately. Of course. It's okay. I can't talk, so you're good. Oh, my legs are cramping. Eh. Oh god, it's already been over 3 hours. Oops. That's what I get for going off on so many tangents. That's okay. I just tend to be easily distracted. Okay. Okay, you're up next, Lan. Yeah, no problem. You're fine. You don't have to apologize for anything. Yeah. But yeah, if you're wondering, by the way, my sass earlier about I know one person is why your guides probably smacked me in the face with a card. Okay. Sorry. Brain dirt for a second there. Okay. Are you ready? Also, I never did ask you either, by the way. Do you want me to keep calling you Lan, or do you want me to use your name? Okay. What does Adam need to let go of? Release. What is beginning? Okay. I had a lot of cards for that one. Okay. So we have The Knight of Wands reversed here for the first question, and the Wheel of Fortune reversed, the King of Swords, and the Eight of Coins. With the Knight of Wands here, I think it's trying to tell you to let go of this refusal to reach out and claim what you want here. This is occurring, I feel like, because you're afraid, and because you don't believe in yourself. And because of that, you don't reach out and claim what you want. Because you don't think it's something that you can actually do. What is beginning for you is breaking the cycles of your past, releasing old patterns with the Wheel of Fortune reversed there. With the King of Swords, that tells me that what is also beginning here is charging forward and taking action and beginning to fight for what you want here. The Eight of Coins here is telling me that you're putting in the work here to actually begin this. Just remember not to rush it. Let's see what the Empyrean has to say here. We have intervention. And we also have define. Intervention says, sometimes the violation is so great that it cannot be overcome. This is the gift. When we have lived in a pattern for so long, we can't dream of escaping it. Or maybe we do dream, but we can't see how to get out. We are blind to the cords that keep us stuck floundering in it. People in our lives that make such a soft bed within the darkness that we take another hit without question. And then the lightning strikes, and it all shatters. There's no putting the pin back in the grenade this time. This is the intervention. This is the universe moving with so much force that you have no option but to do it differently. And whether we can see it or not, we co-create these moments. Our desperation to feel better has been crying out for so long, weaving its way through the cosmos, begging to be heard. Eventually, the echo comes back. The intervention is a mother's soft kiss on a skinned knee. The pain can't be taken away, but you can feel that bold love. The love that dares to break the glass, begging you to make a stained glass window so breathtaking it would make God weep. That's the medicine of the intervention. Yes, the violation is great, but your potential is so much greater. Let yourself be cut off at the knees. You're still as tall as trees. Realize your potential here. Realize that you do have the power to get out of this. You do have the power to change these things for yourself. This is something you can do. You have to believe it first, though. Hey, Bree. Hope you're doing well. Also, there was another person named Bree here earlier. Guess what their name was? Their username was. Their username was Bree Leave, and it reminded me of you. Define says, to define is to reach the space where you no longer have to weigh your truths, trying to find some form of balance. To know yes from no. To be okay with all that you are, and all that you are not. To stop collecting what you love in others, and trying it on like an oversized coat, hoping that it will be enough. Enough for what? To be as unsure as everyone else? We are all moving through this life, trying to make friends with the demons at our back. What if you knew your truth, the way the ocean knows its tides? To let it settle into every cell in your body. To live it so completely that a stranger can feel it on the street. To covet another person's power is to insult our own. To always seek is shielding our gifts from the sun. To define is to let yourself be planted. It is knowing what is for you and what isn't, and being okay with it. No longer trying to be acceptable or what another needs. It is knowing that your power could split the sky if you let it breathe. Shed everyone else's skin. Drop all distractions. Close the casket of uncertainty. Run toward yourself. Let knowing crash into you. Set all that burns inside you free. I always love your puns, Brie. So what I get out of this is stop comparing yourself to other people. You need to realize your power. Once you realize that, and you actually start believing in yourself, you can start creating these changes that you want for yourself. And let's see what the Oracle cards have to say about this. Okay. We have Balsamic Moon, a time for healing, and New Moon in Taurus, prosperity lies ahead. Balsamic Moon says, pulling this card suggests that the past is in the past, and a bright future is beckoning. However, before you take your next step, make sure that both you and the situation feel healed. This is not the time to paper over cracks or to simply pretend that everything is okay. Rather, you still need a little more time to heal and to soothe both yourself and anyone else in need. Then remind yourself that anything is possible if you believe it. How fitting. This is also a time to surrender and wait to hear guidance from the universe. Powerful insights can be had. If you know that someone or something really isn't good for you, this card is a reminder to surrender. Start to work on your belief in your dreams, so you're ready when the time comes. New Moon in Taurus says, this card will often come up when you're inquiring about a financial matter or when you're doubting your self-worth. This card suggests that you can have what you want, including material things, but you must believe in yourself. This comes down to the laws of attraction. Value yourself and others will value you too. You can create abundance. Taurus is associated with luxurious Venus, and this card holds the new moon energy. So now is a good time to make a 12-month financial plan. Which I know you've already done. This card can also signal the start of a new relationship. Not the cheekiness! This card can also signal the start of a new relationship. Or of sexier times. They're not even trying to fucking hide it anymore. They're just being like, bitch. Are you gonna listen to that or not? If you've been wrestling with something for a long time, the new moon in sturdy Taurus is a sign not to give up just yet. Well, okay then. I hope that message helps. Guides are being spicy. Apparently they're telling us we got some shit to do. Or rather someone. I mean, it's probably a good way to counteract the heavy, potentially chaotic energy of the eclipse, so if that's what you feel like doing, go for it, I guess. Anyway. Time to give a closing message here. So, what message do you want to leave us off with? I have a feeling you're gonna fucking be cheeky, so just go for it if you want to be cheeky. So we have here the 3 of coins, justice, the emperor, and death. So what I am getting out of this one is that there are things that we can learn from each other. With the 3 of coins here. And we can also help each other find balance and stability here. And create the changes that we want for ourselves. Remember that you are not alone, and there is help if you seek it. It's essentially what I'm getting out of this. Let's see what the Moonology that cast add to this. I don't think I'll do the Empyrean for this one. I don't want it to be punchy, and I don't want to leave off with that sort of message. New moon in Pisces. Meditate and contemplate. New moon in Cancer. You and your loved ones are safe. New moon in Pisces says, this card speaks of dreams and romance, of soulmates and poetry. It suggests there's a new start coming your way that's connected to a matter that leaves you feeling somewhere between having your head in the clouds and being in a totally altered state. There could be confusion and disappointment, if that's what you've had before, and that's what you're expecting. However, if you're onto a good thing, then wish hard, because the words of your soul and your heart could help bring about the manifestation of your dreams. If all that sounds a little too wet and watery, then that's Pisces for you. This is the last sign of the zodiac, and the new moon in Pisces card can suggest a last-ditch chance to make your dreams come true. The Attuned to the Moon section here says, use your feelings to guide your way. Logic won't work right now. New Moon in Cancer says, there's a new start coming in your private life. Something is rising up in connection with the people and places you hold dearest. This can be to do with a member of your family, a flatmate, or moving house. If you're hoping to move forwards with something special in your private life, this card comes to you as a message that you can do it. If you've been neglecting your family, it's time to reconnect with them. If you've been neglecting yourself, you need to take better care of yourself and nurture yourself more. If your insecurity is holding you back, that's something for you to work on now. Doing so could bring you your heart's desire. Take care of yourself and nurture yourself. Oh yeah, this was also this was also the card that came with the message of let someone get closer to you. So but I hope that message helps you. Oh, I guess since I didn't use the Empyrean, I'll go ahead and use the book. What do you have to add to this? Boundaries must be put into place and respected. I'm also going to do another one. The same lessons will keep showing up until you have been taught what you need to know. So, for anyone who needed to hear that, I hope it helps you in some way. But for now, it is unfortunately time that I go, because I've almost been streaming for 4 hours. Yikes. No wonder why. I can feel the very, very beginnings of a headache. Because I forgot to eat, and that's what I forgot to do. Good job, me. Mr. Pimp. uh. But yeah. So, it's unfortunately time for me to leave. So I can go stretch my legs and go get some food. Because I apparently forgot to eat today, so... Oops. Which is why I'm starting to get a headache. My body is pretty much just going, what the fuck? It is unfortunately not. I am actually closing out right now. I'm so sorry. But thank you all for stopping by, whether you joined the queue or talked in chat or just lurked. Thank you for sharing your time with me. I hope to see you all again soon, but bye for now.